mabunu no da mabunu anu idie e mabunu na reshe mu ne se eniama betumi akoye di amom minimara oje di bre no e de adwumade no wa hya ase e de agu akwan mu all support yes Salam Mustafa that office nimu. I mean the general worker to galvanize the youth for the NPP and more so ensure say Ghanaian youth in general ADA no kosen nafa Ike akwa betain
onya good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Share with you for nyina
etin for jo so
na bibia boko by me chrome form Jamestown fishing harbor.
Okay.
Across the coastal belt omusi yemfa nchia emamo anyway for nyina say omu danana do danko akufado any yera Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia or niama omoya bomu since the time I'm mobile into office. Many can say across the coastal breadth of the country, many, landing beaches, any harbors or Moses, Munim Sebe Bomo. Na me can also any harbor no one ever boa fishermen. For wherever there is an harbor, no, Yama be brain soon and Sambe count. Or more, man be ebe ice, a juma or modi boa fishing community never no. Or more mouton oil. I mean, Niama eboa to create a holistic environment for a fishing harbor. No, ni nyina ba ebeboa. Enti omo say mi mfa so na yenda binance mam.
Okay.
Enti mi amabeye omo ba. I represent the youth of this country within the NPP block no.
Yeah.
Me fa wakonya so na mada abansi amomo. Na yesu ya show omo kran so omo koso na omo yen sa na bebre Mfamboa, the coastal community.
Good.
Yes,
I'm happy to say you started from the coast. Now, while so no, an indigenous, but are you also aware of the shortage of premix fuel challenges fisher folks go through in that regard?
Yes, you see, premix is the same there for some time, also for quite some time. Now, Obekaya, more often than not, among for brief is a premix for a fisherman penna, used to premix. Goes almost the length and breadth of this country because there are several landing beaches from the coast all the way to the north across the water lake. Yeji areas on yesu premise honum. Now issue is aban buy power no realize the distribution of the premise no probably no na I want to show politics ni human interference be no and to me mboa with the distribution and until na yedi premise committee see ebe share omukena edi mo be put it together with a chairman usher to the distribution of premise. Indeed, we share the baking of premix now. We share the oil, the ordinary oil, the ordinary oil neba, no the some form of engine oil be and mixing.
Yeah.
A banisana, a money boy heading, and with the exchange rate issues, no, and also affected premise kakra. But I think quite recently, the chairman of the premise committee, Miyama Danfo, Oyo Central Regional First Deputy, enemy catch him say there have been enough measures in place for Mudia to do coin say as soon as possible premise ever for all the fisher folk. Enti your best wrong say I mean send your money into Boasia so far no. Omun koso enya into Boasia the premise will be coming very soon.
I see. I'll take your word for that, but Enya say with the committee, I wouldn't want to drag this conversation because a series of engagements with the fisher folks. Right. We've gone around and you need more concerns. Even the politics around premix, Mayor Ibaye, and the committee or you free or the new committee by Amanfu Enyebi. We are well aware of how a Kumsin Kotema incident is see on the but and no now by and for dimension say okay say we are from the fishing community in Mibusao and Sembi in that regard, but you fair known to but we are bebuno. So Hyde, tell me one kasa cast your mind across what are your general impressions about the Ghanaian youth? Ghana mebuno is saying.
Well, from maybe where I'm coming from, no, I mean I'm the biggest beneficiary of benevolence of youthfulness and buying support of Modiaba. Obekaya, man, sorry, preocupa. I'm the deputy national youth organizer. Barely 2 years ago, I'm a NUGS president. NUGS is a National Union of Ghana Students. I mean, Ghana have an students or more across the country. I mean, I'm here a summer for. I can't almost summer for because I'm a leader who serves, not the person who decides to take capacity and lead. So I serve them. across the line no omo hu say mejuma me di no me di ni yie enti ho beboa say party na earlier no can be say I was elected. No. Within NPP, the deputies are appointed, and appointment is based on capacity and competence. And the party in paying for Salam Mustafa. We did more NPP muye pa medana se na mesanso chiano this afternoon. Juma Bibri, Omusha and Yamamuno after the election of national executives. No, Tunsafra me say together with my colleague Sandra Sarkodiado. Yemfaye abilities and Mambeboa towards helping the NPP for the next 4 years. Now, so far, no, it's been a wonderful, service. Paying for your party chairman, Mr. Brenya Civilian team, Wabomodin, Olidi party ni yepa. Your son's the young general secretary, or you're Justin Kudianso, support here, baby, and of course. Any in Brapin and Abi, and also has been a support system. And so far, so good. And yes, we have also just been beneficiary, but sometimes also, it's also on our part, we pre the virtues of this government, because New say ever since I buying back power, there have been challenges, just like any other government. But then, Nima Bibre, no Modi, Atutu Kwayama, Senia Beya, we, the youth, will also be in a certain pedestal. Umame Kwayama, Bobo, some of these names. First of all, I'd like to start with education because my background as a NUCS president. I have had the privilege, say, many Ministry of Education, any get fund, and some of the relevant stakeholders. Ebi didn't come more concerning things I have for students. So, at the heat of my time, and free SHS issues I started here because 2020, we were in the free SHS period, and COVID in Subai. Meaning, say, prior to that, then I might be bringing Ghana has until unfortunately COVID. Any Ukraine war issues and I'm saying so be touch. But at the time the issue was about congestion and where your campuses move. For the past 3 years, I was saying Ghana for your struggle. Now sometimes no move from mason into honum na omunti from kakra. For the past 3 years, you can say the best WASI results within our republic has been achieved. Consistently, we've done over 55% for the past 3 years. It's a free SHS in year, then ABP has the core subjects, we've had consistent results. Yes, indeed, you started free SHS nonsense, more congestion. Sometimes, for every problem, Nima Bibri will start here. Sometimes, when your issues, but along the line, you perfect it. Now, Kaya, get fund, and Ira, Honorable Matthew Poku Prempe, doctor. Any doctor. We do of get fund. Omudi Niama to 200 Sinebea, easy congestion, what campus. Over 800 facilities across the country were put up across the country. Meaning, you can say over 70% of those projects are done. I must say, congestion is no more a matter of conversation within the issue of the free SHS conversation. Notwithstanding that, I was saying, as I said, TVET, the new dimension and focus of this government. And then just the focus of this government. But so what buyer or what vision are all the Nyama Tutu Kwam or the Nyama Tutu Kwam Musenebeya, Ibinya a productive economy. We won't say we go beyond just building factories. One of the cardinal policies of this government has been 1D, 1F. You can say a lot of these factories have come up across the country. In Kofobi, each and every day come up with ideas. Say Nkebeya. Niama ye produce free factories in the bone. No moon say we are cotons who could soup and we are 1D product. Because in a bay, a month of may distinguish between the ordinary things that come on the market and also because in the long run, and also MIS stabilize the dollar issues because sometimes we cost supermarket no quack soup now you cry soup no cry you produce be about your crap. And it's a true Ghanaian and a patriot, a call sure bisa. But to distinguish say me toss soup where every 1D 1F I'm buying made in Ghana. Me to where me hurted the economy of Ghana because I was say ubin cost $1 and sana on to me Accra the bisa ediaba ye maimu. And the long run is say South factories here is you be here human capital or more capacity to feed into some of these factories.
Yeah.
And so a buying then again looks into technical vocational education. Then again, under the former minister, you harmonize it. First, not TVET, no. There were different agencies as the Ministry of Agri or more training school for agri scientists, Manema, CSR, Ghana Education Service under Dr. Boedu any era Napo or more harmonize this system. And Ghana TVET service. For now, we have moved from the 3% in terms of movie into the TVET space to over 5%. It is still less than number compared to numbers or Eastern Europe, Manema, Czech Republic, some of these Scandinavian countries, they are doing about 40%. But at least we have made some progress. You can say, because it's TVET free. Yebumano bebre, mbemunu bebre na sese omunsua nsano edwuma omode beboa eba feed e factories nso. Ye sanso ti asese enye obia na betumi akọ university because enye obia na sebe o wa adwun ye de sua de wo classroom ana se otumi hu sa anima wenzo. And the solution of our industrialization and the drive as a country, it does not only rely on services because technical ability to also do some of the technical things here in terms of, for instance, I'll cite an example. For a very long time, Ghana Gas at some point in time was paying expatriates from China no money a gas plant or to Abono. The current CEO of Ghana Gas, Dr. Santi, no, Debbie, and yes, Sana, I was saying, young boy, my besides, says, send a dinner bit me a year, it be training Ghana for senior one Casabin money plenty because expatriate by we should be university of expatriate management. So the foreigner be back. So mamba yejuma o my mo. Who says a cababre and son out the nipa neighbor. Sebi nipa yi so a obai. Oba be yejuma e di abo and it's a nipa nan to me antina honoma. Not just a reason I didn't buy and I fail. And who say I mean you spend a lot of painstaking efforts to make sure that nipa no be feel at home. Maybe no I was appointee some sort of manager crop be say bi on be here no. Ombenya, the wife, the school fees. I mean, you spend a lot of money to make the person comfortable. So Anima Winina was costing the state a lot. Under Dr. Benasanti, or should I say, a DNA beya, you do be to me Ghana for, senior beya, or more with the capacity, tech training a lot of engineers. How can we train these people to man our own plants? Only China 4 year discuss here, a agreement, or more training Ghana for you. I think for over a year, this plant is being run by the Ghanaian. And it tells us that the Ghanaian has the capacity to manage his own affairs with the right leadership. All was done under the era. Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Any Minu Kasei, NBSSI. I mean, now GE, Ghana Enterprise Agency. Almost every time. See, we are implementing the U-Start period. You can't U-Starter. I didn't say. See, GG taxes were my more. Over half of that money goes into payments of salaries. For more public sector. Now, public sector in Uganda, your population of over among for is even more than 30 million. Less than 1 million people or 700,000 people are taking half of the revenue we make in this country. It is not sustainable. I think so. Bank so into me employee obia into the ingenuity of this government and they say, "Ediana ebet me aye edia boa mmebuno se ne be ya you develop startups." Startups and they say mbebunu nyina be start e bia obi wo ho no ma wo ko online ko Instagram Ghana for bebre and obi see or the your friend is saying ahwene ye mpaboa obi see beats ye mpaboa obi see odi I mean nyama bebre these are all nyama etumi nature e dey grow businesses nti aban e dey sika bi ekotu NBSSI for no in partnership with the former NEIP, National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan. Sa young people, you be identify them. Na edisika akosho mo dwuma mu. Then send your menu ka say miti high, e bia say mo business bia me year. Aban edisika be shame. Send your be ya business mu try. Me zo metumi employ other Ghanaians. No mo zo ni ma be ye dwuma. It's a business hands wa. And you bia na was say on depending on government for employment because it is not sustainable. Say aban kwa e betumi employ nya. Mini ka say so. Then again, for the past 4 years, consistently, there has been massive recruitment into the security services. Some crofo ya employer muno. Oko ayen ko bisa o se oye NPP ni ana so yen DC ni. Ade ne say Ghana hia crofo a on betumi maintaining the internal security of this country. Fire service, immigration, police, military. there has been multiple and thousands of Ghanaians who have been recruited into the fold of the security services. Nina aban hyehyɛ ya ɔhwɛ sɛ mebunu ebenya bibi pa ayɛ edi aboa Ghana. Enti eba no nyama ya benefiting on this government.
Matthias
started say ye keka
But fantastic. Why a government PR not perfect? But not me busa say, in your own opinion, no, who the state of the Ghanaian youth now not saying?
Well, I mean, the state of the Ghanaian youth has never been this bright. The state of the Ghanaian youth has never been this bright. And I say that because I know the resilience of the Ghanaian people. I say that because I know the resilience of the Ghanaian people. There's never been a time you can say you solve problems in Ghana. As a matter of fact, the largest economy in the world, the United States of America, with over 400 million population, almost solve your problems. Running over 18 trillion economy, almost solve your problems.
Yes,
we'll have challenges.
Wow.
We'll have challenges. We'll have challenges. It is under this government. And then you see food inflation is skyrocketing. It's true. It is not everything I bet me I solve you overnight. It is this same government in the year 2019, a single digit inflation. And then say a core challenges be more. Me trust say this same government to solve it. And I say the state of the Ghanaian youth has never been this bright because in share work on no, irrespective of the challenges you face, say you take advantage of them.
No, but Oka say has never been this brighter. How bright is it? Because most of the youth, calling for employment opportunities. Most of them are also calling on the government. Say, I mean, they can't even provide meals for their families. And I don't know one girl free by Jay Hyde Ghanaian youth, current state, is so bright. Well, I mean, no free, baby to say soon about. And when you talk about the Ghanaian youth, winning what pertains among the youth, and I mean, the kind of frustrations that most of them are going through.
Right.
Are you aware? And I say you are not aware.
I mean, I'm very much aware. But like I said, the problems that we face as a youth, and starting, there has always been problems. And Endi Ochina. But at every point in time, you share the will and the resolve of the people who manage to solve the problems that we face. For instance, Midikan can say, there are several measures in place that we can take advantage of. Me amiti hai, me wo ebusuanfo any adamfo bebre periodically. Omo frame is omo hiamwa.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we all go through that state one more time. But me so me bisa me who say, few years ago, na me ametri ba oko high school crampo no na be din. And I do not have to worry about that because the government has provided the means by which me can back to my school. Beyond that, Oko University, Abanzo assign him say, and yet your parents now they be to meet your school fees. And your moody measure be by through the student loan trust fund. In fact, student loan trust fund, I mean, me can't answer me anymore. A bon share what asylum government realizes say more often than not, it's no uko bisa loan or honum dia school. Omu require say obi here obi or ya ban ejuma guarantee.
Yeah, but I don't say when it comes to the academics, no. Fair enough, maybe at the progression and the support is there. But any panel school now, what about into the job market? There are challenges. And you'll be also soon as ability dibuano. And you'll be also maybe obetumi afa through the academic ladder and maybe why again.
But I mean, I think that
if it's all about academics,
no, it is not all support. It is not all about scholarships. It is not all about academics. You are taking the wind off my sail.
Well,
initially, I had also intimated, under this government, I've been the largest entry into the security services. As a matter of fact, per the time I now you were about, if I'm not mistaken, over 60,000 people on government of Ghana, 600,000 people on government of Ghana payroll. Minu Kasei, we have over 750,000. The over 150,000 people are employed. Omu Ghana for. Omu mebuno. Who call security services more? You say age is a requirement. And to say, Ebia, who apply to Ghana National Fire Service. Now you can say you should not be less than or you should not be more than 30 years. So that's over 150,000 people. No, Ghana for na yes so more. San Crawford na employ me. Yasis omo shebre because a ye momwa. A san so come obusuan for. Beyond that, I have also intimated, say, all the factories which are being created in this country. In fact, Dizemai is one of the best Dizembers we've had in this country. Omwa omukasa eti aban omwa no makase say yen kaya aban for not anything. It is not Dizemai in Ghana. Na yewo meba yewo. And I'm saying
December,
this because December year and started December, but I'm referencing this particular December because amidst the challenges we face was the opportunities that we had during this December. The creative arts industry, restaurants in this country, video and camera guys, stage prop directors in Yamanema, all the shows are here organized. It's human Eddie Bromo. Omo artworks in Yamanema nyina, Afro Nation, Afrochella, all these events employ thousands of Ghanaian people. Yes, in Bemuno. Yenimze at some point in time, not dollar rate in Yamanema nyina. In fact, me wa down for 4 Bibre America. At some point in time, each and every December, a timer, ye bushia, yesu yeji yenin kakra. December, about 4 of them could not come down because earlier towards the November, no, now call say dollars and say me na niaman shedan ko yikakra. But when we are approaching the Christmas festivities time, no, ama dollar no e Kenya ni huna rate drop about 7 no, because first no be okra $1,000 beer is almost getting about 18,000 Ghana cedis. But by the time I do December, I buy a year niama. To say, Emma assurances within the economy, no. My dollar rate ni by form, and you'll be into incofa the dollar kit will be in fambe, embe say, embe Ghana has say. And eventually, no, or more multi America crumble, no, they couldn't come. But those who were able to come, they also had fun because at the end of the day, no, Ghana for no, yet it's in Yamaso, fuel prices are down, kakra, so name Americano. Relative price of goods and services, it's what called down kakra. And I'm trying to say, there has never been a time where we can solve all the problems in this country. But at the end of the day, where the efforts and measures are in place to help solve these problems,
you think there are still opportunities available for the youth?
Indeed. Minu Kasei, I have also maintained that the factories which are being built, a Ghana for an employer more. Nancy, you are President Nana Dodon Kwakufado is speaking about Agenda 111, an ambitious project, say, out of 111 districts, no, Obabesi district hospitals, meaning say over 80 of them are at several, different levels of
over 80
completion.
Of them
are different levels of completion.
Walk around to see for yourself.
Over 80 of them are different levels of completion. 98.9. Artisans omuye ejuma wo honum no. Omuye ye nuanuma ye ni omutifie, omuye mason, omuye carpenter. Because aban yes ejuma yinti, omutu enye ejuma ye. Indeed, during Mahama time, ye a former president Mahama, osi circle Dubai, ye nyina ye budget no so. But never in this country, in the history of this country, has there been simultaneous development in our economic and infrastructure development. Mini ukasei ambitious projects, uko teshiya, ye see interchange wo honum. Uko haya obeche bilamte run about, wabosu kan haya. Yes, I'm sweetie. It's interchange.
Yeah, workers are on site.
Workers are on site.
Last week, story came said most of the foreign companies now are laying off workers. Contractor. Most of these expatriate. Firms are.
Internal management of
internal management. And no challenge with maybe a funding.
No, until
funding. No, the problem is not coming.
I wouldn't want us to.
Employers need to lay off workers.
No, I don't want us to be speculative until those companies who have a catcher as the reasons of more lay off and answer. You can say there has not even been any evidence. Who statement a free Carol Gava or say or more lay off workers. I'm saying, say, I don't want us to be speculative. Until those companies my statement say we are laying off workers because projects here I see probably is about 80% completion. Say there's no need for extra workers. Obviously, a draws a stage beer or send Crofobimba, not the limited number of people who finish the project. But going back to the conversation I was having, let me catch you. What a credit. Yes, PTC interchange honum. Former PTC runabout. Interchange kesie na koso honum. There has never been a time, even all the way to the north, Tamale ko ho ene, you see interchange honum. It is the money of these Ghanaian people and their taxes that is funding those projects. We are building a huge port to Honum, Jamestown, Midi, Kankai. In fact, in terms of roads, sometimes say ube sorry, say ebia u call Legon and opatututu, not those entering Accra. Long traffic. Minuka say the city is also expanding at all flanks, the eastern and then the western. Kaswa Accra is Yatra. Many people are buying homes in those areas. But the question is, so Obibe sorry free nifie at 4 a.m. Now I buy Accra, be Juma. Now say Okofi enzo, wakwa could do 10 p.m. It affects productivity. I buy some junior home. I can say. Then there's a need for us to make several interventions in the road sector. Then you say road keke, but roads that lead to those areas and change and affect the daily lives of people. Send your beya. Obin to me sorry, our machine was some free. The bar waiting 4 years. No sorry, no prepared. Nan kolani da wakamu. Mbwa. Intimini ukasei ushe school junction all the way to Boteman. Major road construction here cost Honum. From Atomic all the way to Domi. Any tree road construction here cost Honum. Ufatema Beach Road. Major road construction here cost Honum. All these are interventions are buying air senior beya. In fact, between Tema motorway interchange, near Abayin Ebeye towards all the way Aflao from across Central University, government is expanding the road so that we can reduce travel time and reduce the inconvenience and pressure, because all these things contribute to stress in Yamanema. And see, I do not believe say Abayin be wohonuma a bit me ya chain irrespective of the external challenges we face. Right. There are opportunities for us and we will take advantage of that.
Isaac Jay Hyde, Deputy National Youth Organizer for the NPP. This one-on-one conversation we are talking about a wide range of issues. How the youth can also be used effectively. He's talked about opportunities available for the youth in various sectors. But Isaac, going into the elections, obviously the youth will lead the charge. Minim how more psych up the youth to lead that charge, Are they really up for it? Say they will defend the new patriotic party to ensure say you break the 8.
You see, the NPP youth wing is led by a resilient and a boisterous young man, a friend of Salah Mustafa. In fact, Nidin a roadmaster.
Nidin
me say Akrano ombreu. Me boss or sorry say or ko bogatanga obefem ekwa kopie mboku wasanechi abana vrongo ofirimu obefa tumu kwa kopie mu wa ofiriwa wasansi abada mango ofrida mango abatamali ofritamali na crossy lake no na kwa kopie mu wo ida atebubu through teacher mante ana say yebesan fa Pandai Dambai area. I mean across the length and breadth of this country. In fact, ye fa Kumasi Krampoa, ye fa Hafo through Bibieni na asambe PM or Western North. The Juma only man no groundwork movement. We are touching base with the right people and the youth of this country. We believe this when the time is right, it be reform, and we are already doing that under the able leadership of the current leadership of the NPP. We are touching base and reminding that the Ghanaian people say, "Abai any day and your moon continue to keep faith." Me papa Samia Wuku, the Kasa can say, the last elections are no. The mantra they call is keeping faith with the grassroots. Because the grassroots no mukra party. And we continue keeping faith with the grassroots. And I believe is that when the time is right, when the time comes, they will continue to stay loyal to them.
But how is the youth react to the internal politics within the party, knowing very well say parliamentary and presidential primaries up ahead? Well,
I mean, each and every facet of this country will experience some level of internal elections during the primaries. Bekaya and saying a general secretary statement by beginning of the year to tell us the roadmap going into the elections. Several recommendations are back towards the National Council on how to go about some of these things. Me believe is when the time is right, official communication, but there's a lot of enthusiasm. Minu kasi me bunu bebre eno mo yi omini so mbe conteste. Ukobus me frewa minya Nana Kwame Asafo-Adjei aye.
Yeah.
Ono.
From America ba.
Ono running for the peaceship. Uko Odotobria, Minya Lotewa, ono so see ono running be across the length and breadth of this country. Mbunu believe it say almost, and that is the opportunity that the NPP provides you. You can say the NPP is the only political party that provides a bigger platform to the youth. Under this particular administration, a lot of the deputies are young across the country, from Mimidria, Sandra, and all of us were former student leaders. And no extra, your other colleagues say, when they also, join the ranks of the NPP, other opportunities will also extend to them. And see, the euphoria and the enthusiasm is there. That and then say the party gives way. Say, I'm sure say they will either do a breakdown, maybe orphan constituencies. Places are your seats. And of course, you also know, say we are also going to go for presidential primaries. I have selected new faces already party in him. And see, the enthusiasm and the euphoria is there. I believe, say a woman prayer.
But so you are aware, so say. With the upcoming presidential primaries, as a youth, I take a center stage. Meanwhile, the youth wing is reacting to most of these support groups emanate from various camps. And the kind of clash on social media near day your Benku your BMW, your AFA. Any are they championed by the youth.
Yes.
And meanwhile the youth wing nationally you are reacting to all these.
For us as a youth wing, it's a laudable and a beautiful initiative. Because you see, at the end of the day, Minu Kasei, per the population of this country, per the last census, over 65% of Ghana's population are people below the ages of 40. These are Mebunu. And see, if they actively participate in politics, they are not just, taking advantage of opportunities for growth, but they are also getting involved to champion the day-to-day growth of the party. And as a youth wing, it also keeps the grassroots also actively involved. And yes, it will be out of fatigue and in China, at the time you need a person, and also trust that within NPP, there's an equal platform for everybody. It is a democratic dispensation. Into Obia or Hong Kong say you can join any other wing. But at the end of the day, the beauty is also that the real primaries nipa. You know, become your one boom. Now you are piano nipa bakwan obabedi party name. And I believe it say of all the 9 people who be named to obabedi party name, all of them have the capacity riding on the back of the success of this government to take the NDC through 2024. Inti mebu no need there or my crowd say be a party under the leadership of Yera Salam Mustafa Obed director because he's the roadmaster in a council.
But NDP in the cracks in the party say factions APPM amongst the youth man to sanitize the atmosphere now eventually
No, the point is that even...
And now you see it as normal.
It's normal. Even in the Republic of Ghana, we all have political parties at Yedom. But at the end of the day, you real elections now. You holding a train another opportunity. NDC following and answer your Omupese, Omudada Ghana for two General Mosquito and some of the Omudi, the peace and security of this country. Ever be the agrombe try and trust Omakulati resource and EC 4 in the NPP 4 out of Wapayo and answer Omako Shisha baby. I put figures together. Omudi call Supreme Court. Omu Dada Ghana for a waste your time. Threatening the peace and security of this country. Now saying Omuko presidential Omuko internal elections. You're a General Mosquito. And it is no person than the current chairman of the NPP. He was the general secretary of the party. I can say at the time Omuko Supreme Court, but no money, the data and figures are Omuko challenge. And for us as an NPP, we believe in internal democracy. We believe in the fact that it is the resolute and social and foundation of our party. And we can have all our differences, but at the end of the day, in real elections now, that responds to Kukrudu Eshi.
I see. Jay Hyde Waha, Deputy National Youth Organizer for the NPP, na ene yaneno AD and Komo Ewo Epahu Adabenso Nona. So Hyde, with this presidential race coming up, any parliamentary race, no bibi da mo mebuno nani so a mo hwese party ni beye na ebete party nani mu ana minimal mosomo wenge no role amu play in ensuring say aspirants are almost as you know, they do the campaign devoid of near maybe a bit to me a good part in who. How are you advising in that direction?
Well, I mean, me stress I mean, it's a beautiful thing. Say, yeah, as a maybe no, you bring your platform as support your person of choice.
What choice no one?
I mean, me a national officer.
Okay, we need choice.
Me need choice.
The national officers need be here. Juma maybe more.
Oh, me name of any national officer.
We need many national officer.
Not that I know.
Oh yeah, Juma Mobi.
I mean, the leadership of our party, the general secretary, and the national chairman, no national officer should take sides in the primaries because any person or emerge as a flag bearer, any and you believe.
How about a regional officer?
I mean, then again, I'm not aware of any regional officer or support you. But even if there's a regional officer, or
and in a BMW, in free buy.
I mean, and it just will be sad the campaign the source. But I believe say whoever becomes
and Ashanti regional chairman and non a BMW in free buy.
Oh, it be no can BMW car. You to mean BMW is a coinage.
Wow.
And see, I mean, obi abet me the need yaba. But minim say mantra any sloganeering is part of the election process. And see whoever becomes the flag bearer.
Are you aware that party has been petitioned over Chairman to make conduct our Ashanti region?
Then again, it's a democratic dispensation. A year crampo say among for more a party mu a believe say bibi a whole margin and I say bibi touch ma wo bibi no they can petition a party structure mo believe say benya ho I mean a positive response because me know can say people do not have trust in the system taking nyama into their hands and at the long run no say nyama bebree. But if they themselves believe that petitioning, complaints, and now say, stepping forward, I'm citing an example. Now say area hono constituency I hear so be quiet.
Yeah, BBN so be quiet. Issue about MC,
Yes, I mean
any MP
exactly.
Yeah.
Internally, PC some audio, I mean some say or freedom say I mean eventually a general secretary, the capable general secretary. I've never been this proud of the leadership of our party. The general secretary issued a statement and called for all the stakeholders and parties to come forward. That's a bibi wohonuma ya kan wan say that is what makes us I mean
and no come and could be saying
meaning say I mean the last meeting omuku can say bibi there's progress and so far no the matter affect you nyina. They are very happy with the progress of work. We believe he said the leadership is on course. And when the time is right,
say or pay or ubia or no between na Juma as the municipality executive.
I mean, I cannot come and discuss some of the internal issues at Ekoso. But then again, the critical issue I wanted us to focus on is where people have trust in the system, because then again they don't put matters in their hands. The extreme I call any senior nanka. The worst it could have been say be a amount for Befania Manjums, I mean, but then again, ye general secretary and ye national chairman, a Kasa no mutie, because they believe in the structures of the party that say ye diama way echo two party in painful anymore, they will solve it. And that is the dispensation we find ourselves in. And the means Bibi Abekoye. Only say Bibi
Abekoye. But on the issue of Ashanti region, say you've not been mandated to speak to it, but are you aware? Meaning how you also react to the conduct of the chairman, you being a national officer, and the 31st night party, any the kind of endorsement, of course, and a go against party, a guidelines, I'm with it
you see, Sebi party, omunye police officers Sebi omuko rounds, omuko chichin crop so if free say bibi or ubi, aye bibia. And send fata and I say a good be fee and I say it goes against the rules and regulations of the party. I want to meet the bar paying for him, and I can assure them, say, I have trust in the leadership of the party and they will take up the matter. When you can say petitions be brave and about paying for them, and I know say Omudi Wejuma. Then again, if BBC Ashanti region honum say Crawford honum no more issues, or much me the benim paying for bedding Wejuma.
Paying for bedding Wejuma. Whatsoever as a former NUX president, Denti. I'm sure you are aware of issues around students are almost legon vandals for issues, Minim the roller APR now more into politics you can help mediate there, but the course who is saying?
You see, Nancy and me paying for be AD. I mean, from where I sit, I mean, and this is not politics. This is my personal view about your education, and for somebody a matana board so concerning education, your accommodation challenges I face on these our campuses. No, I don't think say building hostels need expansion on campuses will solve the long-term issues we face, because at every point in time, time and Legon, you see diaspora, name diaspora, Liman, see in these hostels. No, I mean, it was a beautiful venture. These were huge. Some of them taking about 1,800 at a go. Sometimes you introduce more beds to even expand it. But today, more people have come to the school, and there has been more, admissions, and so population has gone beyond capacity to contain. And next year, some could see 10,000 bed hostels. We are sure say in the next 5 to 10 years, your sons will be expanding beyond that. I think a solution to some of these things, and he say, we'll look at our public transport system, any general planning of our country, because maybe in June this obiti done so manner Legon as a hostel. If we had an effective transport system across the country, any town and country planning, National Development Planning Commission, some of these agencies, together with the politicians, say, you bet me, the future plan of this country, say, that's why I buy into some of the major rules to ease the traffic and congestion, because who done so man never taking no best. 2 hours and send we do live in London underground system. You can travel anywhere, even if you are using a bus. You can travel anywhere and get to your destination without being worried about the time I'm free because you predicted the traffic I will out. And to the long-term solution to this vandals ni Oppo issues, I believe one, it helps to quell the usual violence normally after SRC elections, any conflict are causing. But if it's just about the congestion now, I don't think that is a long-term solution. The long-term solution is academia together with industry, any government. It was interest you be planning your environment here so that population do not exceed the capacity of our cities.
I get you. All right, so Jay Hyde Waha, Deputy National Youth Organizer for the NPP, Onona Enewie, Yeneno Edin Komowe, Pahwada Benso, no, speaking to the Ghanaian youth and the nation at large, the Onosu Ehunu, Efa Emebunu no Hono, Anna Yeneno Edi and Semnibi Ahun Komo Efa. And see, Uareshemu said, going into the next elections, the youth, ebe to me, Ejnaho. Push the agenda of the government to ensure you break the 8.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt now. Senior medical. In fact, yesterday, my birthday, me call Ashanti region, any me paying for students of KNUST, any, in fact, the TESCON leadership, with the help of the regional youth wing, any students of more KNUST, your leadership, TESCON, more KNUST, a call on grounds. In partnership to some initiative by a National TESCON Secretariat. Abanyi has been the biggest support system to education in this country. There's no two ways about that. And the way he has a level 100 or more, but no touch base with them so that they will join TESCON on our campus. Because over 50 people came to join for us to do that mobilization drive. And no, mommy hope and believe said the people and majority of our youth are still loyal to the NPP. And I have no doubt, over 60% of our population fall within the youth bracket, and to say to buy and there, those youth will be loyal to the NPP. Yes, sir.
That's your belief.
That's my belief.
Sir, and you SHS graduates,
and I believe my belief is the general belief of the ordinary Ghanaian youth.
The ordinary Ghanaian, you say?
Yes.
Any Ghana mebnum kasa, Jay Hyde?
Well, Ghana mebnum yina afternoon we michiamu. And I'm speaking as your colleague, your brother, and a fellow. That and there Semiti Hanoma is because Obi and a certain Amanyoko a share a Jumapa in the past to give us an opportunity to come and join and serve. And now I am a deputy youth organizer. But a nun tracer or Chinameme ye a chain wa would me. a opportunity penamanya and ability akonya we mu. Me so me believe say so you juma no working harder. You can even do more than I've done. Sometimes all you need is an opportunity to shine. The NPP provides that opportunity. And then we may face challenges. It is natural of all of us. Each and every year, you forming resolutions for the year. By the end of the year, no, and you achieve it because not all the factors are in our hands. But then again, say upe amanyo kwa or show commitment, the will and the resolve to make Ghana a better place. There's no other political party than the NPP. And the mestre say yen joining forces together to come along the beautiful Ghana that the current government and the area Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo, any Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the digital vice president. As for Dr. Bawumia, the meeting didn't cry, not be because or no, Nyama Wayama Yan in Bebunu. You see, first, Uku Ghana, Uku Momo, that was one YD card, and then because of digitization in the registration, I ain't. Ubo wadia yenim baby auti yenim cause awaye. In fact, digitalization na ichi minuka say yenim ubia address. First, uko ebia Jamestown, yesi si wagbado usi anu afa corner emu kono. Say all you need is to take your phone and digital address. Ube call with tax. I mean, it is beautiful to watch, and I know that with the right people in the place of governance, Ghana will see a better prospect. Enti minuanum munyina mumbo. And be share and be joining together. We shall work to make Ghana a better place. All
right.